Not good news, because Caitlin Clark looks legitimately injured. She's not going to play.
Caitlin's injured with a left leg injury.
Caitlin Clark just suffered a fresh leg scare at practice.
Caitlin Clark's injury appears to be worse.
And now she might not suit up against the Atlanta Dream.
She's not going to play, especially because it's in Atlanta.
After battling tightness last week, a new incident today has fans worried all over again.
It's not a great news, it's really not. But you know what? All that matters is
the Indiana Fever made with Caitlin Clark's presence on the court is undeniable.
Stick around. We're breaking down exactly what happened and what it means for her next game. And if you're rooting for Caitlin to bounce back stronger, drop 100% in the comments right now to show your support.
Cece, one word to describe today.
Only one word. Unreal.
Caitlin Clark is just different from everyone else.
It's crazy how one player can implement a change so massive, and that is Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark's leg issues didn't just pop up out of nowhere today. This story has been brewing for over a week. It all started when Clark began feeling tightness in her right quad. Fans first noticed something was off during the Fever's preseason game against Brazil.
Caitlin Clark, the #1 pick last season, the face of the franchise, the most hyped rookie in probably WNBA history.
I think just getting a feel of playing with new teammates. You know, this is basically a new roster. You look up and down, obviously we got 5 players back, but other than that, like, you're trying to build chemistry with your teammates. And to be the rotations, nobody's going to play a ton of minutes. It's kind of just going out there and getting a feel. We've been going against each other, going against our practice guys, but it's fun to actually go up against another WNBA team and really get a gauge of where you're at and things we need to improve on and things like that. But yeah, I think more than anything, it's just trying to build chemistry with our new teammates.
She was spotted on the bench with an ice pack wrapped around her thigh after checking out. And although she played 19 minutes that night,
this is just a really high quality team, I think. And I look forward to seeing the rest, as it looks like they just scored their 100th point of the game against Brazil. I do not believe the Chicago Sky did as well against Brazil as Indiana is right now.
It was an unbelievable game to watch on television. It looked great.
She clearly wasn't moving at her usual lightning speed. After that, head coach Stephanie White confirmed what many feared. Caitlin was very limited in practice.
Stephanie White, I would assume that her saying that Caitlin Clark is very limited means that she's probably going to be out.
Yeah, I mean, she's been limited in practice, so we're still very cautious in working our way back and really letting her body kind of tell her how much to do and really relying on the trainers, the athletic training staff. But she's making great progress, and that's what we need, just to make sure that we're super cautious and have no setbacks.
The Fever's medical staff decided to hold her back and monitor her closely. Videos from practice showed Clark still participating, but cautiously, cutting, shooting, and doing drills, but not going full speed. Some fans even joked that she was moving like an old woman, but in reality, it was clear her leg was bothering her, and she was trying to manage it carefully. Despite all that, there was a silver lining. Clark never stopped practicing completely.
I don't understand why she's practicing if she's injured. There's a possibility she plays in the Atlanta Dream game. I'm trying to find any of like the Fever aggregation accounts, and I mean, they're just showing the Scott Agnes clip of Caitlin Clark kind of moving and relocating, but she looks okay. In like 2 weeks' time, she is playing in front of 20,000 people in Atlanta, or whatever amount of people are in the Atlanta Hawks, are in the Atlanta Hawks gym.
And her movements, while not explosive, look stable. The Fever reassured everyone that they were just being super cautious to avoid any setbacks. The tightness didn't seem severe enough to sideline her long-term, but it planted a seed of concern.
Stephanie White talking about the injury, and now there is a article from Grant Young from Sports Illustrated. When speaking with the media right before tip-off, Clark said it's just a little tightness. I go through warm-ups and everything, and they'll decide if it's good to go or not with the medical team's decision. Tightness clearly wasn't too severe. After sideline for May, didn't keep her sidelined for the game against Brazil, where she played 98 minutes. Although it doesn't sound like Clark is completely out of the woods when it comes to managing leg injury. This was conveyed by Fever head coach Stephanie White when speaking to media about her star player Wednesday.
Everyone was just hoping it was minor and wouldn't linger into the regular season. Just when it looked like Caitlin Clark was turning the corner and working past that nagging leg tightness, disaster nearly struck again. During a recent Indiana Fever practice, Clark was involved in a sudden and unexpected collision that left everyone in the gym holding their breath. Here's exactly what went down. In a routine practice drill,
she is legitimately injured. She's still running. She's still running after this. And again, look, she's not trying to sprint. She's going at about 60% speed there. She still looks fine.
Clark was cutting across the court to accelerate off a screen, standard movement she's made thousands of times. But this time, as she tried to pick up speed, she banged knees hard with a male practice player. Right on impact, you could see her body language shift instantly. She pulled up sharply, stopped her motion, and immediately grabbed at her left leg. Thankfully, not the same leg where she'd been battling quad tightness. Still, the reaction was enough to send shock waves through both the team and her fans watching from afar. The clip, first circulated by reporter Scott Agnes.
This video from Scott Agnes, in fairness, if anyone watching this knows Scott Angus, that man is a hooper. So if you go with this right here, they're just doing a drill, and if you're looking what happens here. Caitlin Clark pulls up. Caitlin Clark pulls up immediately. She doesn't look like she's moving well.
Shows Clark trying to walk it off, pacing gingerly and attempting to shake off the pain. Observers noted she was only moving at about 60% speed, clearly cautious and uncomfortable. Though she didn't collapse or need help leaving the court, what happened next raised even more alarms. After the collision, Clark sat out the rest of practice.
If you're looking at the rest of the practice, she's not in there. She's not in there for the rest of practice. She is standing on the sideline.
She didn't rejoin drills, didn't participate in scrimmages, and was seen standing on the sidelines watching the remainder of the session without taking another shot. That's where the real concern kicked in. It wasn't just a harmless knock that she brushed off. The Fever's staff made the call to shut her down for the day out of an abundance of caution. And honestly, it was the right move. Even though early reports suggest the knee bang is not directly related to her earlier quad issue, adding 2 lower body scares in such a short span is the kind of thing that raises red flags for both the medical team and fans alike. Let's be clear, there's no indication this new incident is a serious, long-term injury. But anytime you see a star player who's already managing one leg problem, now limping off from another contact hit, the smart play is to rest and reset, especially for someone like Clark, whose leg strength is the foundation of her game.
You don't understand the leg strength it takes. The leg strength that it takes to shoot the ball from as far as Caitlin Clark does. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, like, there's nobody else doing this. There is nobody else that is able to shoot from as far away as Caitlin. There's nobody else that's able to generate anywhere near as much power as Caitlin Clark.
Whether it's launching deep three-pointers or slicing through defenses, her power starts from the ground up. Without stable legs, she simply can't perform at her full potential. After sitting out the rest of practice, Clark was not seen participating in post-practice shooting drills either. That's rare for her, and it's a sign the Fever are taking zero chances as the regular season approaches. With 2 concerning leg incidents within a week, the original quad tightness and now this knee knock, the urgency to protect their franchise star has skyrocketed.
Caitlin Clark play. And then we got one of the highlights of her career, really. We know she broke the record at Iowa. And then I'm going to pull up from all the way here. The ball's way in the air and it goes down.
There's Caitlin again, signing autographs.
This is Caitlin Clark doing what Caitlin Clark does, signing autographs.
So this is what an actual crowd looks like. Chloe Peterson put this up. That is a sold-out arena. 14,998 people. That's all it could hold. They all showed up in Caitlin Clark's college arena. Absolutely full capacity, folks. Full capacity on this thing.
After everything that's unfolded over the past week, the burning question on every Fever fan's mind is simple. Will Caitlin Clark suit up against the Atlanta Dream? Right now, the answer is leaning heavily toward no, and here's why. First and foremost, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White has made one thing crystal clear in her recent comments. The team is operating with extreme caution. Her words about Clark have been consistent. She's very limited in practice, and they're relying on the medical team to dictate her workload day by day. Those aren't just casual phrases. In professional sports, when a coach describes a player as very limited, it almost always means the player won't see game action anytime soon, especially in a preseason game that holds zero weight in the standings. Let's not forget, the Fever's entire season, their playoff hopes, their ticket sales, and frankly, the entire buzz around this franchise hinge on Caitlin Clark's health. Throwing her into a meaningless preseason game against the Atlanta Dream just to satisfy one small arena of fans? That's a gamble no smart front office is willing to take. Clark is simply too valuable to risk aggravating either of her recent leg issues in a game that doesn't count.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT!
She signed my jersey! So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
Here's something else to consider. Even before today's practice collision, there was already a strong chance Clark was going to sit out this Atlanta game. As early as the night before the Fever's last preseason matchup, it was widely expected that she wouldn't play due to her ongoing quad tightness. Now, with this fresh knee bang adding another layer of caution, it's almost a lock that the Fever will rest her. And honestly, the logic behind this decision is rock solid. The Fever's regular season opener is set for May 17th, a marquee matchup that'll be nationally televised on ESPN, ABC, Disney+, and League Pass. That's the game that matters. That's where the team needs their star at full strength. No one cares about the preseason standings. What matters is ensuring Clark is ready to light up the court when the lights are the brightest. There's also another smart scheduling factor at play here. The Fever's calendar this season is favorable for managing an injury. They don't have many back-to-back games, meaning Clark won't be forced into situations where she has to play heavy minutes on consecutive nights. That will give her body more time to recover between games, and the medical staff will have flexibility in how they ramp her back up once she's fully cleared. And let's talk reality. Yes, fans in Atlanta who bought tickets hoping to see Clark might be disappointed if she sits out this preseason game. But as the transcripts rightly pointed out, Caitlin will be back in Atlanta in 2 weeks for a regular season game in front of thousands of fans.
There is no way she plays in that Atlanta Dream game. Like, I understand bang knees hurt. They're not, like, it's not an injury. You don't understand the leg strength it takes. The leg strength that it takes to shoot the ball from as far as Caitlin Clark does. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, like, there's nobody else doing this. There is nobody else that is able to shoot from as far away as Caitlin. There's nobody else that's able to generate anywhere near as much power as Caitlin Clark. People wanting to see her.
Rushing her back now and risking a setback would not only cheat Atlanta fans out of one game, it could potentially rob 44 other arenas of seeing Clark later in the season. That's a risk the Fever simply can't take. When you weigh all the facts, the cautious approach from the Fever, the 2 recent leg scares, the importance of the regular season, and the minimal value of this preseason game, it's clear that the smart move is for Clark to sit out the Atlanta Dream game. It's about the long game, not the short-term headlines. The silver lining? Reports from both practice footage and media suggest that neither the quad tightness nor the knee bang are serious long-term injuries. With rest, rehab, and the Fever's top-tier medical staff monitoring her closely, Caitlin Clark is still on track to be ready when it counts the most.
Whenever Caitlin Clark takes the floor, that maybe is different not only from any player in the WNBA, but from any player in basketball. The Indiana Fever are where they are because of Caitlin Clark. The WNBA is where it is because of Caitlin Clark. The Iowa situation is what it is because of Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark's leg might be giving her trouble right now, but all signs point to the Fever making the smart move to rest her and get her fully ready for opening night. It's frustrating to miss her against the Atlanta Dream, but protecting her for the long season ahead is the real priority. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Fever are making the right call by holding her out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're still backing Caitlin Clark all the way, don't forget to comment 100% to show her some love. If you got value from today's update, Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest Caitlin Clark and WNBA news right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.